The next lesson we're going to be talking about is Chapter 3, Lesson 2, Estimate Products. So we've all heard of estimation. Estimation is rounding to the nearest whole number to make it easier. We are doing this so we can easily multiply numbers. So if you look at the first example, you can follow along with me on page 186. Looking at this problem, we have 8.7 times 2.8. Now if we look at that, it's kind of hard to multiply that number in our head. So what we want to do is round those two numbers to the nearest whole number. So first, we are going to look at 8.7. Now looking at 8.7, we want to determine if that number is closer to 8 or to 9. Those are the whole numbers around it. Well, looking at 8.7, I can see that it's actually going to be closer to the whole number 9. So I'm going to change 8.7, like they did in that problem, to 9. Now, the next number we need to do is 2.8, because we're multiplying 8.7 times 2.8. So we want to change 2.8 to the nearest whole number. Well, 2.8 is closest to 3, so we're going to round up. So we're really taking 9 times 3. Well, we should all know that 9 times 3 is 27. So our estimation is about 27. Whenever we use estimation, we're going to use this word about. You can follow along with me on page 186. This is number 2. Now, in this problem, we're going to be estimating again. However, the directions read, round to the greatest place value to make it easier to compute mentally. So what that means is we want to round this number to the nearest greatest whole number, but we want to do it to, when it says greatest place value, that means we want to round it to like 10, 20, 30, 40, an even number like that. So looking at 42.6, what is the best number we could round it to? Well, if we're looking at 42.6, the closest numbers to it are either going to be 30 or 40. So that number is definitely closer to 40, so we're going to round that to 40. Same with 37.2. What number is it nearest to? Well, that one's between 30 and 40, and since it's 37, it's actually closer to 40. So we're rounding these problems a little bit different when it says greatest place value. We're getting rid of the decimal. So now we need to multiply those. So we're going to fill in the 40s here and multiply. Hopefully we all remember how to multiply these. 0 times 0 is 0. 4 times 0 is 0. Then we go to the next number. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 4 is 16. Once we have that, we add. So we have 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. And we can fill in those zeros here. So 0 plus 6 is 6. And 0 plus 1 is 1. So our answer is really going to be 1600. I really want to make sure you understand how to round these numbers. We will do more examples in class. This next problem, you can follow along with me. It is on page 186, letter B. So we want to round these numbers to the nearest whole number. So looking at 4.2, what is the nearest whole number? So we're either going to round it to 4 or to 5, because those are the whole numbers around it. Well, 4.2 is actually closer to 4. So we're going to have 4 times. Now we look at 3.1. What is 3.1 closest to? It's either going to be closer to 3 or 4. Since it's 0.1, it's actually closer to 3. So when I estimate this problem, I'm actually going to have 4 times 3. We all know 4 times 3 is 12. So my answer is about 12. This problem can be found on page 187, letter D. I want you to look at this problem and try to understand it, see if you can round it, and we will go over this problem in class. Your code for today is horse. Again, we're sticking with the farm theme.